Are you doing your cable flies like a cable crossover? Well, stick around, I'm gonna show you why doing it like this is completely unnecessary. I got my boy Mason here, and we're gonna do a fly. So a lot of people have this big argument about like doing crossovers. Does cross your hand over give you more activation? So now, is this gonna give you more stimulus or, I don't know, muscle mind connection when you're doing crossovers? No, it's not. And I'm gonna explain to you really easy why. All right, relax. All right, so just very simple, all right? So I'm gonna get Mason to basically put his hands out like this and just clap his hands together. I want you guys to try the same thing too. So we're gonna have his shoulders, now his shoulders are gonna be back and away from his ears, and then he's gonna press down, and I want you to just squeeze the palm of your hand, right? Right now his chest is firing off. His pecs have already done the job. His pecs can no longer do anything else. His arms are fully adducted into the middle. So come all the way out. The chest muscle basically attaches like your sternum, comes up to here, then the clavicle around here, then like you get a little bit of the intercostal here as well too. Its entire job is to just pull the arms all the way in. Right there, it is completely done. So the chest also does shoulder extension, which is pushing the hands down. It does shoulder flexion, which is basically raising on the way up. And then it also does a bit of internal rotation. Now you can see, that's all the chest really does. We're looking at a cable fly out. I'm gonna zoom in on his chest. As you can see, his chest is fired off and it's on. Now let's make sure we keep these shoulders low and down. There you go, even more. Now for him to continue to cross this hand over, put the other hand up. Now I want you to cross this hand over that way more. Now if you can see what's actually happening, for Mason to cross over even more, the activation isn't coming from his chest. He literally has to protract. He has to open his scaps up even more for him to get fully crossed over. Now that might be why you guys like, I really feel it in my chest. For sure, relax. If I stay completely flexed in a bicep curl like this and completely flexed like this, of course I'm gonna feel it. But that doesn't mean that doing this even more is gonna turn my bicep on. It's the same thing with your chest. Do it again, Mason, just go from open from here, chest up, there you go, shoulders back away from your ears. Now just clap your hands right in from here. Now Mason's got a big chest. Now, right now, he's fully adducted. You can see his shoulders are down from here. Now, do the crossover. Now you see that to do the crossover, now he has to protract. Last time I checked muscular anatomy, you don't have to protract for your shoulders to do horizontal adduction. The reason why you guys feel your chest working more is because you're just crowding it up. Keep the same position as you are and just turn around. He looks bunched up. Now I know we're exaggerating a little bit here, I get it. But help! Help me! Simply just going to do your actual crossover. Doing this is just putting yourself in a position where you're really just bunting yourself up, creating more tension, but the tension is just from you just being congested. So a couple things we have to do if you want to just really just make this such an easy exercise for you to feel it. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. We have a lightweight on so you can control it, and I suggest you guys do the same. Mason, want to do the same thing you did before and kind of keep your hands in that like clap position. Shoulders back away from your ears and put your hands together, fully together. Now we want the arms to be basically straight, shoulders back away from your ears and right in the middle. Now the smallest thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get him to push the inside of his fists together, his palms. Ooh, how much does that feel good? Cool. All right, so Mason's basically gonna have his hands where they would be in the finished position. We're gonna get him to push this palm, the bottom of his palms together, just like that. Now we have both his hands are right in the middle of his chest. That's basically how we wanna make sure that we're holding this weight so when we are in our finished position, we're getting the full contraction in the shortened length of the lift. Now here's another reason why doing crossovers is really unnecessary. So when it comes to muscle recruitment, muscle growth, we want to be in that lengthened part. Right now the chest is shortened. The lengthened part is when we come all the way back and then bend our elbows, and then we're in this position here. this is where we want to emphasize the most of this lift. Simply, just for the sake of doing a crossover and then missing the mark back here is just taking away from your overall development of your chest. So now we're looking at just chest exercise and just doing what's enough and what's necessary for you to build the chest that you need to build. Getting to here, and right now Mason's dying right now. Just holding his weight here and there's hardly any weight on the bar. And there's hardly any weight even on the pins. So from here, just being in this position, he's already got full activation and full range of motion to the end of this lift. And then when he's going back to the beginning and then opening up, the chest opening up, falling into it, from here we get a nice stretch. And this is where we want to spend the most time, is here, not necessarily over here to get that extra range just to cross your hands over. So we want to get to there and stretch, and then pull out and get to there and stretch. And to make sure when we get to this point here, it's almost like we're pushing away with this part of our hand. We're literally doing this at the end, then opening up, and then do it again and pushing to there. And that's gonna give you the most amount of muscle recruitment when it comes to the full range from here and then coming all the way back and then stretching it out here, falling into it and pushing through again. And that is why you don't need to cross your hands over. Crisscross applesauce. All right, let's talk about setting ourselves up so we're doing the perfect cable fly. Whether we're going from high, medium, or low, this is how we're gonna get set up. So you're gonna take your weight and you're gonna pull it into your body right away. Tuck your elbows back. Then you're gonna take it a couple steps out and put one foot forward, whatever's comfortable for you. And you wanna make sure the other foot you put back, shoulder width apart. You don't want your feet too close together, otherwise you're gonna be doing a balancing act the entire time. We're gonna let our shoulders go back and away from our ears, so we're nice and tall from there. And then we're gonna punch the weight right out. And now we're in that position where we're starting, and now we're gonna push those wrists together, perfect. Now, when we're doing this, you wanna make sure that the cables are aligned with your forearm. You don't want them too low, so then now the weight's gonna keep pulling you down when you're trying to pull, and you want them too high, where the weight's gonna keep pulling you up. So make sure the cables are sitting flush in line with your forearms. Now from there, you're gonna open yourself right up, bend into the elbows, stretch into the pecs, nice and strong from there, and you're gonna push yourself away to that finished position, and that's literally how far you need to go. Do 5 reps, Mace. Open up nice and slow, stretch the bottom, pushing away. All the way, open up, stretch to the bottom, and pushing right away. And one more time, and making sure that our wrists are always basically touching at the top of this lift. And even at this speed, this is where you're gonna get the most amount of muscle recruitment, and this is where this movement is necessary. It's up there. Now, doing a cable crossover is just not necessary. So next time you guys are wondering if you should do cable crossovers, just remember this video I just did. Let's make sure we're making movements that are necessary and efficient. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. If you guys use these cues, let me know in the comment section below and let me know how it feels just by changing a little bit of those techniques, and let me know if you feel it more in your chest more than maybe crossover. And be honest. Anyway, guys, until next time, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.